Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to be joined by Bud Pierce, Republican candidate for governor. Bud, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Great to see you. Thank you very much.
Making the rounds across the state right now.
Absolutely.
So why politics? Tell us, first, I guess, you're new to politics. Why are you getting into the game?
Well, I've been watching the direction of our state and the relatively poor job market, poor wages, schools struggling, infrastructure decaying, inability to use natural resources. And I think it's time for new leadership, new ideas. Government has to work for us. Government really is broken. And so I've decided to take the plunge.
Okay, so how do you begin to do that? Obviously, right now you're making the rounds, but you announced your candidacy in Salem a couple of weeks ago, if I'm correct. But you're trying to get into Salem right now. It is Democrat-led. How do you begin to change the minds of Oregonians or to win them over?
Well, after the 2014 election, I decided to move for 2018. And the time course was sped up because of the governor's resignation. I went to Dorchester and let my Republican colleagues know that I was preparing to run for governor, and I put the plan into motion. I announced on September 10th. What I plan to do is to bring forward new ideas out in the open to the public, to go around the state, present the ideas, and to see if they resonate. And I'm a candidate who wants to have real substantive changes happen in Oregon. I'm not looking at window dressing. Sure,
forgive me for that. So with a background in the medical field, how will that help you in leading our state?
Sure. So as I think my medicine helps me, because in medicine and the way our practice is structured and the way I've been trained is to put the patient in the center. All efforts are to take care of the patient, and I mean that completely. So not only the treatment, but support the patient. They have financial needs, if they have insurance problems, if they have legal issues, they have government issues. We've always stood with our patients. I'd really like to see government put the citizen first, put the citizen in the center, and to use the power and ability of government to support the citizen in the citizen's success and prosperity, rather than looking at the government to really roll out a plan and to live one's life according to the government. That's kind of philosophical. In terms of my life, I helped build a business in Salem. Our practice went from about 10 employees to 75, and I'm really the driver of that. I've been heavily involved in philanthropy. I've been president of a number of boards where we got real projects done. I've been involved a lot in the government and in the legislative aspects of government affairs from a medicine point of view, both at the County Medical Society and at the state level. And finally, was a leader in the negotiation to have malpractice reform, which was our early discussion and resolution program. So I think it's the totality of my experience that makes me the correct candidate for the time to lead the state in a different direction.
Okay, and would you classify yourself as a conservative, moderate, or liberal Republican?
Moderate Republican.
Okay, and why would that be?
I would say most people consider moderate Republicans as those who are very interested in good fiscal management of the state, stop wasting money, stop taking a $69 billion all-funds budget and spending 17% or $11.5 billion on administrative costs, stop having more than 250 commissions that have in the state that have staffs and the executive directors and not knowing what they're doing, and someone who's very concerned in getting government to work for the citizens' benefit in the most frugal manner possible. And so that has to do with the moderate Republican level. On the social issues, I would really like to see citizens and government work as hard as possible on living in harmony and peace. Because when we elevate the social issues that we have disagreements on, and they need to be worked out, and we need to come to decisions, but when we ramp up the anger and ratchet up the hatred, it's so destructive. It's destructive to our daily lives, and it really makes it hard to move on the other issues where we have really have common ground and we want to solve problems.
Okay, so it's obviously a unique situation next year's run for governor. So what's the biggest challenge for you in that respect? Obviously already stepping up your campaign by 2 years, but also taking on a governor who has so little time in office. Is that an advantage to you?
Well, Governor Kate Brown has about a 24 or 5-year record when she runs for governor next year. So when we look at Oregon's way of doing things, when we look at Oregon's economy, when we look at Oregon's infrastructure, when we look at Oregon's education, Governor Kate Brown hasn't been an innocent bystander. She's been a legislator. She's been a leader in the Senate. She's been Secretary of State. This is her Oregon. So I'm going to run for a new vision of Oregon, which is an Oregon that works for the citizens and has much better jobs and wages, has much better education, has much better infrastructure, and again, can use the natural resources appropriately. So,
busy time for you. I appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much.
Thank
Great
you.
to meet
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.